What's up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Nora and thank you so much for joining me today. So this video is going to be another girl talk video, but I would say this is going to be a little bit different because this is going to be really kind of like an open letter to myself, to Nora, but I wanted to record it because hopefully some of the things that I discuss, I talk about, or even just kind of, word vomit to myself. Hopefully it will help, some of you guys out there as well. So I wanted to sit down and record this video just to kind of reflect a little bit about 2020, kind of what's been going on internally. Obviously, I know there's so many videos that already talk about kind of what's going on in the world. Not to say that that isn't important, but I wanted to really just kind of have like an open letter, kind of like a diary entry to myself with just how I'm feeling thus far in 2020. It's September now, which is insane to think about. It is also my birthday month. So I think with me having a birthday approaching, I will be 29 on the 24th. I kind of just have been reflecting a lot. So hopefully you guys enjoy this video. I know it's not going to be your traditional girl talk, but I did want to share this moment with you guys. And, let's continue the conversation down below if you guys have any reflections as well that you've kind of been thinking about thus far with the year. It's been a lot on all of us. So if there's anything else you guys feel comfortable sharing, definitely comment down below in the comment section. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Share the video. Let's continue growing the family. And yeah, thank you guys so much for joining. So 2020, I mean, on the surface, I think for the world overall and a lot of us kind of looking at just what's going on in our exterior, has really been, I mean, to be frank, a freaking shit show. It's been a shit show, to say the least. I mean, obviously with the pandemic, coronavirus, we had murder hornets at one point. I don't even know if the murder hornets ever really hit. I don't know if they really was going off because I didn't obviously see them here in Boston, but murder hornets, our President Trumpito, obviously, he always on his bullshit. So that continued over. And then, just obviously with the Black Lives Matter movement, a lot of innocent Black people losing their lives, continuously watching Colin Kaepernick trying to fight for our rights and advocate for us in the sports space. It's been a lot. It's been a lot to take in. And I've been trying to just kind of sit here and absorb it all and just reflect and see, what I can do with what's been going on in the world for me. How I can take what I've learned, what have I learned, honestly, just kind of being in quarantine, and thinking of what I can do these last couple months of 2020 and then also preparing for 2021. So this year for me, honestly, it wasn't a horrible year, and granted the year isn't over, but thus far it wasn't horrible. I started my YouTube channel, which was really exciting and a long time coming. Anyone who knows me knows I've been talking about it for a really long time. So started my YouTube channel, which I am over the moon about, finally jumping in and diving into a passion project of mine and something that I genuinely love. I consume all the time and love creating videos for you guys. But I will say too, for 2020, it was definitely a self-reflection type of year for me. I'm definitely your type A extrovert, love to be, I don't even want to just say out like clubbing, bar hopping and all that stuff, but I love to be around people. I definitely thrive on the energy of being around people. So I loved being around my friends. I come from a massive family on both my dad and mom's side. My family and I are really, really close. My cousins are literally my best friends, as you guys probably can see in all my videos, but I thrive, on just being around people. So quarantine was definitely tough. I know a lot of, my introverts were like, oh, this is perfect. I get to stay at home. No, that wasn't me. That wasn't my journey. I was literally going through it. But on the reverse, it was kind of interesting. I feel like from a professional standpoint, I did really thrive, which coming full circle, I think helped my personal development. So working from home, I've been working remote since March with my corporate job, and then obviously working on my YouTube. I have found that I've gotten better on, prioritizing and putting my needs first and being organized. Again, I am type A, so I was pretty decent at this stuff anyways, but I definitely think, this pandemic has forced me to kind of sit in solitude, focus on my projects and my dreams and things that I want to work on, and really dive in 100%. I started reflecting and found that I think the reason why I never really started doing, YouTube or a lot of other things I loved was because I was pouring into others a lot more than I was pouring into myself. And not to make that seem negative, I poured into myself, but not the way that I should have. I kind of gave myself 25, 50%, maybe 60% if I was lucky, and I was giving everyone else 110, 120%, which I'm not complaining about. I don't really know if I'll ever completely turn that part of me off. That's just the way I am. It's the way I was raised. And I love being like that, honestly. I love being like that. I love being available, for my friends and family. But I've definitely learned through this pandemic and just kind of quarantining and everything with 2020 to really be okay with being selfish with my time, being selfish with my energy, and, focusing on things that I want to do for me. And all that to say, obviously, led to, my YouTube channel being here, focusing on my professional development. I found myself being way more productive from home. Love my company, love my team, love being in the environment, but I guess this extrovert realized that she did have a little bit of, some introvertedness, I don't even know if that's a word, deep inside. So I definitely have thrived even more with being at home and was able to really focus on that. Leading with, also to being home and just kind of being on my own. I did move, obviously, too, this year. Oh, forgot to mention that. I moved, as you guys saw in my moving vlog. So I moved out of my parents' house, after college, moved to Dallas, lived there with my partner at the time for about 4.5 years, and then moved in with my two best friends. So I haven't lived home with my parents in almost 7 years, but I always lived with other people. So this is the first time, at 29 in my big age, that I am living alone. And it's been amazing. It's been so much fun. It's been eye-opening. Don't get me wrong. I definitely have those days where I'm kind of just rocking back and forth, and it's okay, I've talked to myself long enough. I need some human interaction. I've definitely had those days. I've had those moments quite a bit. And again, working from home, I've had that, happen to me. But it has forced me to love being alone. It has forced me to learn how to be by myself. I'm not an only child. I have two brothers that I love dearly. And again, I come from a very big family, so I'm used to being around a lot of people all the time. So this definitely forced me to learn how to love my own space, love silence, to love just being at a peaceful state by myself. Which, makes me think of how people talk about meditating and just taking that time for yourself. I was never a meditator. I'm still not really a meditator. I'm trying, I'm inching my way into it, but I'm slowly starting to get it. Just having that moment in that time, in that space for yourself and just pure silence, you cannot put a price on it. You really can't. You can't put a price on it at all. So, just being alone and in my own space has been really nice to just be creative, obviously decorate the way I want. Not done, still working on it, but just to kind of do everything, to my liking and my taste has been really exciting. And through all this reflection, it's also made me realize, where some of my different relationships were, whether they were platonic, whether it's just with my girlfriends, my tribe, my family, previous, actual romantic relationships. It's actually caused me to sit here and just reflect on all of those, whether it's relationships that are still, growing and in a great place, or if it's relationships that have come to a standstill, or relationships that, I lost at one point, and I'm kind of reflecting and trying to understand why. How did we get here? What led us to this point, and why are we here? And again, y'all, ain't nothing like being in quarantine and just being locked up in your house for 6 months to get you sitting there and thinking, because girl, baby girl was in her thoughts, okay? Baby girl was in her thoughts, baby girl was in her feelings, baby girl was crying, baby girl was screaming, baby girl was doing everything. And it was so eye-opening and so beneficial for me to just sit here and really, again, just reflect on, who Nora has been thus far, who I've been, throughout this year. Is there anything I do want to work on, things I want to change, things I want to get better at, or things I want to stop? There's other, bad habits that I did finally realize now, just being, on my own and, being locked up in a house, pretty much for 6 months. I'm telling you, it's eye-opening. They tell you to look in the mirror and just kind of look at yourself and really start to think, and you'll catch some shit. I was catching some shit ooh, girl, I don't like that. I don't like that. I don't like the way you said that. I don't like the way you responded so quickly to that. And, you know, I was able to realize I definitely had, you know, a temper with some things, and I was a little bit too nonchalant with some things. Just eye-opening to realize, you know, places where I could progress and hopefully get better. And it definitely put the onus on me, you know, for some relationships where I realized I need to step up more, for some relationships where I said, you know what, I've given all I can, you know, to this and had to step back. And, you know, definitely ones that, you know, I might have lost completely, but I'm in a space where I'm healthy enough to say, you fucked up. You took this time to reflect. Now put your money where your mouth is and make things right. So it's been a little scary, you know, to be honest. It's definitely scary to, you know, put yourself out there with others. And I mean, you can't control how other people feel. You can just hope that they understand how sincere you are, and, you know, that everything is coming from a great place. And hopefully they feel the same and can reciprocate it on that end. So that's something I'm still working on and learning, that I can't get everyone on my timeline when I want them to, but all I can do is, you know, express myself as much as I can. So that's been another big thing for me, you know, it's just, again, learning how to be on my own, learning how to really accept the silence and embrace the silence, but reflecting on who I am as a person, who I am as a woman, where I want to go, where I've been, you know, what I can learn from, you know, past experiences, and how I can, you know, now attribute these things that I've learned into, you know, different relationships across the board. And again, this is by no means just relationship, again, in like a romantic setting, like, oh, with your significant other, all relationships in all aspects of the word. You know, I think all relationships are very important. If you're one of those people who sits there and you're like, I don't need nobody, I could do this on my own, I don't need nobody. Yeah. Whoever hurt you, this is why you need to take this time to reflect, figure out why they hurt you, work on healing, and let that shit go. Let it go. And if it's something you do want to fix, work on fixing it and trying to, you know, work on that, because I'll tell you guys, life is too short. Obviously, as we see with everything going on, we don't know when it's our last. So love hard, you guys. Love hard, love deep, love real. And that's with everyone. And again, you know, just I can only speak for myself just through reflecting. I realized there were relationships I was giving too much energy to, and there were some that I was neglecting like terribly, like really bad. So that's definitely going to be a focus of mine, you know, the remainder of the year. And, you know, hopefully I can continue, you know, making it more of a lifestyle and not just like goals for the next 3 months, and really being disciplined at that and really trying to focus on that. Yeah, that's been a big one for me. And lastly, I would say just kind of reflecting and, you know, open letter to myself and just kind of thinking moving forward. Nora, I'm saying this to myself, Nora, but hopefully everyone else can also take away from this. Stop being so hard on yourself. Stop being so hard on yourself. Allow yourself grace. You are human. You are going to mess up. You are going to mess up a lot. Now, if you're making the same mistake over and over again, baby girl, you're not making a mistake anymore. You are making a choice. You are making a conscious effort to make that choice. Now that, I can't help you there, but we're human. You're gonna make mistakes. You're gonna stumble. You're gonna fall. If you didn't, I would be concerned that you were a robot, or that you didn't care about anything enough, or you're not trying enough with anything in life if you're not failing or fumbling or making mistakes. So stop being so hard on yourself, okay? You don't have all the answers. Which I'm laughing because I tell you guys, again, being type A Libra, the older sister who thinks she raised her siblings, I mean, I'd like to think I'm pretty smart, you know, book smart. I did very well in school, but I don't have all the answers, and it's okay to not. And, you know, again, through this time, just reflecting and growing up, I'm realizing that's the beauty of life, is not having all the answers. I can't tell you why, you know, maybe I made some mistakes or did some things, but all I know is I'm reflecting and I'm learning and I'm going to do better, you know, and that's really all you can say. And that's all you can do. Now, obviously put your money where your mouth is, you know, which is why I went back to talking about, you know, putting in action and taking steps forward, but, allow yourself some grace, give yourself grace. You're human, you're gonna fuck up, and don't be too tough on yourself. It's been a really long year. It's still a long year. As much as it feels like the year flew by, we're like low-key just in September. I don't know, it's weird. I feel like the year flew by, but I'm like, bro, is it Thanksgiving yet or not? But yeah, so just give yourself time. Give yourself time. Give yourself time to learn from your mistakes. Don't be too hard on yourself. If you're sincere and your heart is pure in what you're doing in your actions, it will show. And again, some people will get it, some people will get it, and some others might be dealing with their own growth and their, own healing that they're not going to notice it. And that's fine. Whenever they're ready to kind of come full circle. I'm not the most patient person, so I'm also working on that. Just like, oh, do it now. I want you to be, do it now. But okay, I'm working on it and learning that, everybody has their time, but allow yourself grace, allow yourself to make those mistakes and understand it's okay. You're gonna mess up, you're not perfect, but that's the beauty of growing up. That's the beauty of life is, accepting that and, rolling with the punches and what you do with it on the other end. So, Nora, stop being so damn tough. But all right, guys, yeah, that's it for this video. I know, not super long, but it was on my heart, as you guys can see, literally like barefaced. It was just something I wanted to share, and I thought it would be a nice kind of like vulnerable moment to just kind of share with you guys where I am, mentally, physically. I know we all put on a little bit of, weight during quarantine. Some of us didn't. I know y'all were out here grinding. Me personally, I put on like 5 or 6 pounds. Perfectly fine. But mentally just wanted to share, with you guys where I am right now. And hopefully, this little like open letter dialogue to myself helps you guys as well. And again, be sure to, share maybe some things you guys have learned, some things you're working on, kind of how you've been feeling, over the last several months and kind of your plan moving forward. I love you guys. Thank you so much again for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye, guys.